So maybe you've got a bit of a stubborn alocasia like this guy right here. Or maybe you found these weird little nugget type things in the pot and you might be terrified of touching them because you're convinced that you're going to kill the whole thing. Well, I can tell you, whether you're trying to rescue something, reset a dying plant, or you're ready to turn one pot into 5, these little nuggets are actually the single most powerful thing you have in your toolbox. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to identify them when it's time to dig them up and how to stop treating them like fragile glass so you can actually turn those nuggets into an alocasia gold mine. Right, so before I go digging around and messing up the root system of my poor little plants today, and I'm absolutely going to do that today, let's talk about what these little corms are, because I do hear a lot of people panic about them, especially if you're new to alocasias. You might find these weird lumps in your alocasia pot, and it can make you convince yourself that something's going wrong. But here's what this little thing actually is, and I've got a few of them actually, because they're a bit weird looking. Some of them aren't exactly all round shape. This little thing here, this is your plant's savings account. So if your alocasia feels like it's running out of the resources around it, so if it's got low light, if it's got cold roots, if the plant just isn't doing so well, it doesn't technically give up and die. That's the very, very last thing it might do. But first it's going to pack up everything it has left, all its stored energy, all its literal survival potential, and it stores it into these tiny little small hard nuggets essentially, and they go into standby mode. Honestly, this is the most beautiful, calculated, really intelligent thing that this plant does. So what do these things actually look like? Well, I've got some more examples coming up from my real plants. You'll see that soon. Sometimes if they're very fresh without a bit of a hard shell on them, they can look really, really white. That's a very raw corm. It's somewhere between a small pebble and a very wrinkled chickpea, I think. And as you go through, you might notice some will have a little white tip on the end. That there is a growth point, and that eye means that it's already thinking about waking up. Some won't have that tiny little tip yet. That doesn't mean they're dead. It just means they're dormant and they need to wake up. Now, size does not matter here either. I've got a few here. Actually, let's put them all together. I've got 4 here. One's pretty big. One's this weird and wonderful shape. It's not even round. So it's technically, they look like a small nugget, but they can look like any weird and wonderful size. So you need to watch out for all of them, not just the round ones. People throw out a tiny pea-sized corm thinking it couldn't possibly amount to anything. But I can tell you, I've taken really little ones and watched them turn into a full plant. So don't judge them on size just yet. Give them all a go if you can. Right, so we're going to get into the digging now, the messing of the roots. I'm going to dig into my plants. I'm just going to pop these away because they are from a different plant. They're from my fried deck, as you can see there. So the first one is actually the one you saw. And the reason why I'm looking for corms here is because she's not doing so well. If you saw my last video, I want to put this girl back into soil. I'm preferring soil now over this hydroponic system. So it's almost like a reset or a rescue or something. And I want to get all the little baby corms out and duplicate growth and really set this one up for success in the future. Okay, you with me? We're going to start digging. This is my favorite part of alocasias, I swear. It's so much fun, really. Right, so we're going to start with this girl here. So we're just going to pour everything out onto this towel and you'll see exactly what we've got. Now, if you saw my last video, I did talk a bit about, or one of my last videos, I did talk a bit about my alocasias in leca, how I'm not enjoying them. I'm probably not looking after them as much either. And the roots have not been doing very well for me. So you can see here, this is the whole reason why I wanted to rescue it. These roots are just not looking good. For such a thick stem and for how long she's been alive, there should be a lot more and a lot thicker and a lot healthier. I'm going to spread this out gently. Although, to be honest, you don't have to be too gentle with corms. So look at this. So you've got 2 corms here, both with growth out of them, which is amazing. And then you've got a leca to see what it looks like compared. Can you see that? Put her there. Right, so I'm going to go searching and we're going to find how many we've got in here. But I can already see, how beautiful is that? See, it's got roots and everything. So there's the corm it was starting to grow from, and there's the new growth, and it's already got a nice leaf. So that's a beautiful one. Now, the way you can tell if these guys are viable, if they're healthy, or if you just throw them away is literally just squeezing them. These should be like a chickpea, hard, full, not squishable, and you can press pretty hard because they're jam-packed with energy and fibrous stuff and all sorts, right? And all of that energy of one plant is stored in that corm. I mean, it's completely amazing, really, when you think about it. Okay, so let's just find the rest. Considering it's June, It's the middle of winter here. It's the start of winter in Australia. There's a lot of growth coming out of these corms that I wasn't expecting. So, okay, so I'm pretty sure that's all done. So let's clear this up and I'll show you what we've got. See, this is why a tray is so useful. You can see exactly. So, why am I wearing white today? So we've got the mama plant, and then we'll put her there, and then we've got 1, 2, that was upside down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 variable, viable corms there. Some have already started growing, some have not. So that's beautiful. So that's my black velvet, Alocasia black velvet rescued, and we're going to repot her up into some new a new propagation station. Okay, so the next one I think I'm going to do is this poor Jacklyn. My poor Jacklyn, I felt so sorry for it for ages, so it's time I do something. Now, 𝗟𝗔𝗄𝗎 behaves quite differently to 𝗟𝗏. It does drain a lot faster. It doesn't hold quite as much moisture, but it's a lot smaller, so it does go around the root zone a lot tighter. So while I'm hoping for the roots to be better and for there to be more corms, because it's slightly better, I think, for the corm situation, the baby situation, I'm not expecting big things because she's been in too small a pot for a while and she hasn't been the healthiest, so we will see exactly what we find. So let's do this together. Right, let's literally tip it out. Where are we? Look, the roots have grown around the bottom of the pot, square. So there's a little baby one, nice and healthy. Nice little root system there. You can see the old stem, which I think it was, is growing off the actual stems, but that's good. That's still a lot of energy stored in there. So look how bent she is. That needs some good stability, so I can straighten her up and she can grow towards the sun. Okay, let's spread this out. Right, can you see them? There's one there with a little bit of a white tip coming out. There's a couple of small ones here. Can you see those? 1, 2, 3. You can just see it standing out from the colour of the 𝗟𝗔𝗄𝗎. Right, so I'll spread these out of my hand. Can you see how some are a lot bigger than the others? Right, so see how those two are a different size? Like you've got some big ones and some small ones there. So you could easily miss that in that, right? You could easily miss it in the 𝗟𝗏. So don't always go by bigger sizes. Look how small that is compared to the 𝗟𝗏. Can you see the difference there? So don't always go by the big sizes. You need to try and find the small one. Okay, so we've got a few there as well. That works nicely. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 as well. That's weird. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. Right. This one is different. Okay, so this one, as you saw at the beginning, this is my Gageana. She's not struggling. She's absolutely thriving. Even though it's like almost the middle of winter, she's still doing very, very well with all her leaves out, no dormancy yet. And she's pretty much outgrowing her pot. I mean, she's not completely root bound, but Alocasias don't like to be root bound, so I'm going to rescue her. And this is the really exciting part that I think a lot of people love about Alocasias. Okay, no towel for this one. This is the proper boot tray because it's just dirt. I'm going to repot it into dirt. Yeah, see, it's a little bit solid. Lovely. Look at the roots. Look how nice and beautiful and healthy the roots are. Nice and white. Now, time to separate this out. So this is where we do mess with the roots quite significantly because I'm going to try and get them down to almost bare, to be honest. It smells like fresh garden. It's really nice. You can tell it's healthy by the smell of the soil. It doesn't smell like soil. It smells like garden. Okay, there's one. There's one. I found one straight away. I was about to fall off. Look at the chunky monkey. Okay, nice, thick, doesn't squish whatsoever. No white tip yet, but a good find. Put him there. Why do I wear white all the time with gardening? Now, actually, just while we're here, now I have got quite a lot of the soil off. I could try and go corm hunting and just choose what's there out of the base and just repot this as a whole if I wanted to. But me personally, I actually want to separate out some of these smaller babies as well. So I am going to really kind of mess with it and rip it apart. Look at that variegation. Look at that variegation. Oh my God. Oh, so cute. That is adorable. I mean, the roots are so healthy and beautiful though. Oh. Another really beautiful variegation. Look at that. Right, so as I'm getting to the base here, quite in the base, there are literally corms coming off of the mama plant, still attached. You can see that tiny bit there. See that there? that came off of the mum. That was attached to the mum, so it got a little bit of like looking after, and there's the corm at the base. So the plant is actually going to grow from there. So the only issue doing this is that I am stressing the plant out quite a bit because I'm taking it out of its comfortable spot. It's nice and healthy. We'll get it back very soon, don't you worry. So she is going to go back into that pot where she was before. Nice, beautiful. Oh, honestly, the variegation on this plant is just to die for. I absolutely love it. So now that I've got the plant and the soil out, the parts that are going to have the most corms, they're actually the closest to that main root ball in the middle. So they're going to be mostly up the top. There's literally one that's fallen off there, I can see. Yeah, see, I just scratched that part there. You can see the white part, I just scratched it. So that is the inside, the raw part of the corm, which is where all the energy is stored. So that's how you know if it's a corm versus just a bark. Look at the size of, these are the last Gageana healthy ones to the non-healthy little, that's a Jacklyn, I think. Look at the size difference. You can see what we're searching for. But honestly, these things are so amazing. They're completely independent of the mama plant now. So they're going to have their own root system, their own energy is stored in these little things, and they are pretty much ready to go, especially this size. Right, okay, let's count them all up and see what we got. There we go. Ta-da! That was so much fun. Love it. Oh my gosh. So I've double checked. All of these are firm. None are squishable. They're all viable. They're all ready to go. So now the question becomes, which way does it go up in the pot, in the propagation pot? Well, if you can see an eye, or if you can see the tip of it, obviously that's the growth point. That's going to face upwards. But honestly, it's a lot simpler than that. If you're not sure, just put it sideways. The plant will find a way. It'll either grow to the left or grow to the right, but it will find a way. And you know that it's sideways because you've got a point going left and a point going right. So it can be confusing which way the point goes. If you're not sure, just put it sideways. It has worked for me every single time. And as you can see, this guy was laying sideways, which is why he's growing upwards. So that's a perfect example. He was doing it on his own, basically. Okay, so I'm going to pot these up in a second, but once you pot them into your medium of choice, this one is sphagnum moss. So what do you do with them? Well, there's three things that really help a corm sprout. One is warmth. Warmth you definitely need for these guys. If you've got a heating mat, utilize a heating mat. Put it under a nice warm light if you can. You don't want the brightest light. These are babies. These only need like medium light. You don't want to like blast them with full sun. They're not ready for that yet. They only need medium light. And they need consistent moisture, especially at this young age. Don't overwater it. Think of, that's why I like sphagnum here, think of it like a wrung out sponge. So it's not dripping, but it's not absolutely dusty dry either. So damp, and keep it consistently damp. And then the final thing you need, honestly, is patience. Just be patient with them. You can check if you really want to, just by squeezing them in their in their medium, in their sphagnum, in their cup or whatever. If they're still hard, just leave them be. Try not to touch them. I know it can take anywhere up to 3 to 4 weeks to 3 to 4 months, depending on the season you're in. So, and depending on the corm and how wrinkled it is and how, how much that hard shell is hard enough, because the plant needs to work its way. This tiny little thing needs to work its way out of a really tough, hard shell. So just give it warmth, patience, and consistent moisture around it. Now, there is one more question I know you're all dying to ask me. What medium am I going to grow them in? And I'm going to put them all in sphagnum moss, or is there something better? Well, that is where this is going to get interesting, because this is not the end of this journey for these plants. If you know me, I do love a little bit of experiment, and I have been meaning to do this experiment for a long time. So I'm not going to just put them into one. I'm going to try putting these across different types and testing them all out. I want to genuinely know which medium gets them to the finish line fastest. So I'm going to be setting up a proper race between these corms, and I've got a couple more plants out. So you won't see another alocasia video come out next week. You have to wait at least maybe a month or two for the next one. I'm going to run this experiment off course, and you're going to come back and see what happens. So 3 plants, 2 rescues, and 1 literal harvest pile, which I'm really excited. I mean, how gorgeous is that? That is so cute. That variegation is just Stunning, absolutely stunning. So a pile of lottery tickets today sorted, and they're ready to race, and one experiment to answer the question that every corm growing, alocasia growing person dances around but never actually tests. So we're going to see that one next. So thank you for joining me today. Good luck with your corm hunting, your gold hunting. Have a week full of leaves, love and laughter as always, and I will see you in next week's video. See you later guys, bye. So maybe you've got a stubborn alocasia like this guy. Leckers on the floor.